All right, guys, this is a special pleasure. We're joined here by the Reaper himself, Robert Whittaker, brought to you by Manscaped, the official electric trimmer of the UFC, here in Perth, right before we kick off a historic UFC 284 card. But Rob, man, I know you're here and the fans are excited, but gotta kick things off. Like, how does it feel to be here in Perth, but not in the way that you initially envisioned, man?
Let me just say, it is great to be doing this in the flesh.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I think it's a little special. I think it's special. I thought there'd be candles, but it is what it is. Can't have it all.
We don't want you to see everything, man.
But I'm happy and disappointed in some way, because I'm disappointed in the sense that this isn't the way I wanted to be coming to Perth. I wanted to be putting on the show. And I said to so many people, like, I'll be there. Trust me, I'm going to be there. I am here, just not in the fashion that I wanted it to be. I would have rather had fought here and put on the show that, I owe Perth, I feel now, especially. But, it was out of my control. It wasn't my fault. Blame Costa. Go blame him. It just is what it is. It's just the way the cookie crumbled. But I'm still here. I'm doing a bunch of meet and greets. It made it a top priority of mine to go to put my name down for a lot of different events, Q&As, meet and greets at like 4 different venues. Because if people came here to see me, they're gonna see me.
People are either auctioning you off for a date with a lucky fan later this week.
Everything. I'm giving away foot massages.
Me and Chris are putting down $50. We'll see how far that gets us. It's the whole Submission Radio profit for 2022.
That's good of you to do that, man. Didn't get the fight, but you're giving back to the fans regardless. Just on that topic, where are we at with your next fight?
Mate, absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So we've got... obviously, the UFC had some designs with me, with who they wanted me to fight with the way they wanted me to placed on a card or something like that. Because you saw with the way Sean Strickland jumps in at like a week's notice, he's obviously floating around free. But they didn't want that fight for me. They have designs for me to fight someone somewhere for something. So wait and see.
Was that to do with them not being sure whether or not this rematch with Pereira and Adesanya was going to happen, and them trying to keep you sort of free to potentially jump in there?
Perhaps. They could have been doing the negotiations and wanted me available just in case they couldn't get someone across the line, and then there I am. But it leaves me a little bit out of the loop right now, but it's just giving me more time to work on some things.
I know you were saying like March, April, you want an opponent and a date. So obviously there's no one at the moment. What was your reaction there when you saw the Adesanya and Pereira are locked in? Because I know initially you were like, hey, what if they don't go in that direction? But now they are.
Honestly, it's something you can't. It's not surprising. You see, it was always spoken about, and it's something both fighters admitted they wanted to have. They were happy to have. So. It makes sense. Yeah, I'm not really bitter about it or anything like that. It's just focusing on myself. Still looking to fight, I guess, late April, and see what happens.
So even though they're fighting, there's no part of you that's like, I'm going to wait around now. Maybe fight Alex. You still want to fight?
How long am I going to wait? My last fight was in September. Now that the fact I'm not fighting in February, it's like I could, and then they have a fight. I could be waiting until June, September. Nah, that's too long. I'll take a fight in the meanwhile. Yeah. Stay warm.
Well, you got to stay warm, man. And I mean, this rematch is pretty warm in the sense that it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen here, right? Like, Israel was doing so well against Alex in that first MMA fight that they had where he lost the title. But then again, Alex was able to come back and stop him. And there's this thing going on where sometimes there's just this guy that could just go out there and beat you. And there's this history now of him losing to him over and over and over again. And a lot of similar situations where Israel was winning, then he got stopped. So when you look at this rematch, do you look at it from the perspective of, okay, the history here, what Alex has been able to do, it's just too much for Israel to be able to overcome mentally going into this fight? Or do you just see it as a simple adjustment for Israel to be able to go out there and continue the success, but maybe not make the same mistakes?
A couple part answers to this question. It's a pretty loaded one.
Yeah.
This question was fucking heavy.
Big question. Who do you think wins the rematch, Rob?
Big question. Firstly, I think both fighters are phenomenal. Okay, their skill set is top caliber, and I think their striking is on another level. It is great to watch. The mental side of things, I could relate to Adesanya to a certain degree the first time he fought him, and not so much now. So I have no idea what sort of mental place he's in for this match. Because as you stated, like, he's fought him time and time again, been finished twice. He lost his last one. He's lost 3 times to him. That's got to be something. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it frees him up because the worst happened. Maybe he's got nothing to lose. He's lost 3 times. He got finished his last fight. He's got nothing to lose at this point. Maybe it frees him up completely. Stylistically, can he change some things to beat Alex? I do think he can. He's very talented in striking. He's top tier. But I do think it would be hard in this amount of time since the last Pereira fight, just in the fact that what Izzy does well, he's done forever because he does it well and because it is highly effective against everybody. So I think trying to change those fundamental roots in just, how long was it since our last fight? 8 months.
November, I think.
Yeah, so maybe 6 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Hard,
Yeah.
but not impossible. Like we're talking about, we're the best fighters in the world.
Yeah.
So
Us 3?
yeah.
Yes.
Us,
Yes.
we're the best fighters in the world. We can do that shit. You know what I mean?
We're a team.
So,
we're all
yeah.
in this together, right?
Yeah, that's my opinion about the fight.
Yeah. So you still don't have a preference as far as who wins? I know last time you were saying, or do you now?
Well, let me also say one more thing is, Izzy had a really strong first round because was it the first round? Yeah, he almost finished him. Yeah. He had a strong first round. And Izzy was doing a lot of things, and though Pereira got caught, I don't know. Pereira had an atmosphere around him that he looked like he was controlling it a lot of the time. That's just the feeling I had. Adesanya had a lot of great moments in that fight, but I don't know, Pereira, it looked like Pereira knew something none of us else did. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
A bit like Volko this weekend, but we'll get to that in a second. So you don't care who wins? Because I know a lot of people are saying, man, if Robert Whittaker gets matched up with Pereira, stylistically, that's a great fight for him.
They're all hard fights. I want to get back at Adesanya just because it's a hard fight and the challenge excites me. But, mate, Pereira's a nightmare of a challenge in itself. He's got a lot of dangerous skills and tool sets, and he's a bloody giant. I need a beanstalk to fight him.
I'm going to keep this question short because the last one was, a couple inches too big. So I wanted to find out from you, Khamzat. He's online. He's talking about how he wants this fight with you respectfully. What was your reaction when you saw that tweet?
Didn't see it, but now I know.
Now that you've heard about it, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, cool. Let's do it. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if it's a fight that gets presented to me, it is what it is. Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a hard fight. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I think he has a lot of strengths. I think I have a lot of strengths. I think I'm a hard fight for him. Just the same. Quite good with my hands. Can stuff a lot of takedowns. Hard to hold down. I'm squirmy, you see. So, it'll be an interesting fight. That'll be a showstopper for sure. I'm sure it'll get a lot of people interested and excited.
So they still that name hasn't been mentioned to you at all by the UFC?
No. I think I live under a rock because like you guys always come up to me like, hey, did you hear about this? I'm like, nah. And it's
We're
like,
trying to tell you
UFC don't
the
tell
fight
me.
wasn't going to happen.
No.
And
Yeah,
he was
but
like, no.
well, I can't read the subtle messages through a Zoom interview. Like, what do you want from me? Like, give me sign languages.
You don't really see us.
You could type it. Type it. Hey, bro. Cost is actually out.
There's a logjam with the emails or something.
FYI.
But then it begs the question, because I think a lot of people think Rob and Khamzat make sense, right?
Does it?
To a degree, you look at the top guys in the division.
What degree? He's a
the most
welterweight.
important degree, all right? The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. No. Okay, all right.
Dirty Dancing, did you see?
He's a welterweight.
That was Patrick
You know
Swayze.
what I mean? The reason why it would be a fight that's worth making is because he's riding the hype train.
Right.
And because UFC want to bring this guy who's the boogeyman to a lot of guys
Yeah.
up in the rank. They want him to fight me at the top of the chain so that it opens the door to whoever wins, and they jump behind. That's the only reason it makes sense.
But also, like, when trying to figure out who would make sense for you, like, you look at the top guys, either they're booked or you've beaten them all. I had a list here, but don't worry about the list. You got, like, Brunson's booked, Duplessis booked, who else? Cannonier just lost to Strickland, Vittori's booked. Like, all the top guys are booked.
Cannonier won.
Beg your pardon?
Cannonier beat Strickland.
Sorry. But he fought, though. Yeah. He just fought, right? So he's, like, not...
And you've beaten Cannonier.
Yeah.
That's a rematch that you're...
I'm not going to argue with you that it's making sense of the decision right now is a little how you going.
Right?
Like,
a little how you going?
Like
because he's fresh, that's all.
It's hard because the rematch with Izzy and Pereira, it ties up the division. Like the division. It ties me up. It ties me up. Yeah. I'm in a tricky position where I've beaten a lot of guys in the top 10 and I'm kind of just waiting. I want to fight Pereira or Adesanya. Like that's kind of who I'm lurking around the edges for. So, but again, I wouldn't like to wait a whole year to get my shot at him. So, I don't know. Tricky position.
When do you want to know, man? March is around the corner.
Man, I wanted to know 4 months ago.
Yeah, March is around the corner. April's around the corner.
I feel like I'm in limbo. I don't know. It just is what it is. It is what it is.
I mean, you're looking as powerful as always, and we know you got the new light heavyweight champion at the moment, Jamal Hill. You must be looking at this thing very closely, thinking, hey, this could be something as well. And you always talked about moving up.
If I could get a shot at the lightweight title, I'd go up tomorrow. That would even be a discussion. But isn't he lined up already with someone? Yeah, Yiri, isn't he?
That's right, but there could be some movement there. You never know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's if I could get that shot, I'd go up tomorrow. But might be asking a lot.
All right. We'll see. We'll get out of your hair. The sun's going down. I'm curious what you think about this weekend's fight. Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev. I'm curious, man, if Volkanovski is going to do it, and I'm saying this not because of bias, but because it's like more interesting to look at the underdog, so to speak. People like, if Volkanovski is going to do it, how would he even do it? What do you think the chances are, and how do you think he would do it?
I think Volk has like a good chance against just about anybody. I've said it before in a lot of different shows and segments. He's a powerhouse in the game. He's got it all. He does. He really does. He's got good striking. He's got good wrestling defense. He's got good wrestling himself, and he's got chin and heart. You know, a lot of ticker, a lot of cardio. So he's got a good chance to beat just about anybody. The bigger question is, how good is Islam? You know, I think that's a bigger question. And it's so hard to quantify because of just how he handles himself, like in the octagon, how well he takes people down, how well he does his craft. It's just like when Khabib was running through the division, it's like everyone was like, well, so-and-so is going to be a hard test. Yeah. And then he smokes him, and then it's, well, so-and-so will be the test. And then he smokes him as well. And you just kind of keep doing that until he retires undefeated. Am I wrong? You know what I mean? If Islam has Khabib's wrestling and better hands from what I can see, then he's going to be a hard fight for anybody in any division, except maybe the real big ones.
Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us. I know that obviously you're not fighting, but the fans are excited to see you down here. I'm excited to see some of the stuff you'll be doing with them. And as always, it's been too long, the face-to-face. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the lights are down, so at least we got that. Thanks for joining us, man.
It's special. Thanks for having me.